Welcome to Go Get Podcast. We having to say what do we do anyway? I am Colby.
And Barret Wallace, he's a rebel soul. Oh yeah. Sorry, you can call me Fee.
Hey, man, Fee's brain is rotted today.
Why do you say that?
Listen, we have, I don't know, I kind of don't want to pull it up as part. You know what? I'll put it at the end. At the end of this podcast, you are going to hear a song that Fee made about Barret Wallace, and he can't get his own AI generated song out of his stupid ass head.
Okay, it's fucking good.
It is really good. Is the problem? I want to be more mad at it because it's shit, but it's not. It's great.
It's so great. So I was watching YouTube, and like I always do, and Moist Critical dropped a vid talking about how AI is getting scary, and like Suno makes like good 2-minute songs out of just like nonsense. I was like, all right, I hear what you're putting down. So like, you know, I have to go try it, right? I just can't. I can't not try it. Yeah. I saw like all the inputs he was putting in, so I was like, okay, well, what do I want a song about? Well, obviously, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is still like fresh in my head. Of
course.
And Barret was gorgeous in that game.
He was.
So I input the prompt. An 80s love ballad rock song about Barret from Final Fantasy VII and his gay love for me. And it spit out a fucking banger. It's not even.
I like the specification there. Not my gay love for him, his gay love for me.
Listen. He can't get enough of me.
What a self-insert power move. Yeah. I'm in the Final Fantasy VII universe, and Barret loves me. He never leaves Midgar.
No, what are you talking about? I go on an adventure with him. I'd never hold him in one place. But
he doesn't join up with the rest of the crew because he just wants to go on a solo adventure with you. Everybody else is trying to save the world, and he's like, they'll take care of Sephiroth. It's fine.
Don't worry about the planet. We got this on lock down here in Midgar.
Well, everyone, mission accomplished. We blew up that reactor, and that's it. You know what? Saved the whole world. Everybody's like, Barret, that's not how it works. And he's like, I gotta go to Calm forever. Bye.
Time to go live a simple life with my boyfriend, Fee.
We're gonna go and settle down in Gongaga. Me, Gongaga. I'm gonna grow potatoes.
That's
with my husband.
With my husband Fee and our adopted daughter Marlene.
Oh wait, you don't know that part yet.
Well, yeah, they do. He's always talking about Marlene.
Yeah, but he doesn't explicitly say that she's adopted until the second.
No. Like people are gonna assume. I mean, it's two guys.
That's true.
Right?
I guess you're right. I don't know though. I don't know. Like, can you? I don't know. Who would
and Marlene doesn't look like any of us.
Yeah, it's true. Marlene looks nothing like either of you. But I'm thinking like. So what if there's like a Shinra womb? Who is? I'm trying to think like who comes on TV. Maybe it's Reeve, I guess, because he's like the nicest C-suite guy.
No, it would be Hojo.
Oh no, Hojo can't sell shit. You gotta find a scientist that looks not like he sleeps in Crisco.
Yeah. That's fair. Oh, he's so greasy.
He is. It's so bad.
He looks like he sleeps in just grease, right? Like a grease that's like solidified on aluminum foil. Like he just sleeps, like he wakes up and just puts that on his face like lotion.
Yeah, it's just to me, I imagine that if you were like, hey Hojo, you're looking if I may, you're looking a little greasy. Is there a way that you could like fix that? He would probably be like, oh, that's not a bug, that's a feature. I'm very slippery.
You also smell like leftover carnitas.
Oh, that's my cologne. I do that on purpose.
What would it be like? What do you call cologne in French? It's like eau de carnitas.
Yeah.
I got it down in Costa del Sol.
Yeah.
Where I like to tan with my fucking science coat on.
Yeah, God. God, that part of the game was so good. Which, by the way, okay, this is going to be an episode that if we fuck around and find out, we may find out this episode is just Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, okay?
It's already just Final Fantasy VII Rebirth
so far. It is so far, but it may be forever. This may be an episode about just that.
So, for those who don't know, Colby has finally beat the game.
I did it. I almost did it in like one night. And then the thing is, the final boss rush is so fucking
spoilers.
long. Yes,
Spoilers.
True.
Spoilers, because we will be talking about the ending of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and yeah, just what all happened in our theories.
Yeah.
Game theory.
We've got so many. There's so many to talk about. There's so much stuff to get through. I'm fucking pumped.
Yeah, God, I got the message about, like, Colby's been like, I almost beat the game. I died in the last boss rush. I'll try again tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I woke up for work at 4 a.m. and I was like, oh, I had to wait until like 9 or 10 o'clock my time to message him about it because, like, I wanted to wake up and be like, oh, dude, where did you fucking... I wanted to, like, fucking poke his head about shit. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, he's probably asleep.
Yeah.
And, God, I went to work just with that fucking bug on my back, that what's it called, that monkey on my back.
Yeah God.
Hey,
okay,
wait before you start. Hey, Colby, Elite Gamer, did you beat the game before me? Did you beat the game before Fee?
Depends on how you count it. Probably not.
No. Yeah. Let's go back a few episodes of the podcast when we first got the game. Mm-hmm. What did you say, Colby?
I did say
for the audience. Say it out loud.
I did say that I may beat it before you because because I'm a better gamer and my game time is more saturated with gaming.
Judge, he did not say I may be. He said I will beat the game before you. He said it. He said it like with his fucking whole chest out. I will beat it before Fee. I will.
Which one of you didn't believe me?
He did, and I beat the game a whole like week and a half before he did.
It's true. Which, I mean, makes sense. If anybody had half a brain, you probably would have thought about that. I didn't when I said that. Here's the thing: in every world, you beat it before I did, except the in-game timer world, in which I would be willing to bet that I have fewer hours in the game than you did, and I got the same outcome.
The in-game timer world?
Yeah. How many hours did you spend in-game?
Oh, 123 hours?
There you go. 85, bish. 85. Yeah.
Did you beat all the Chadley missions? Did you beat... Well, I know you already 100% at all the areas, but did you beat all the missions? Did you grind?
All but the one that you can't. You don't have to grind. Number one, if we're going, like, if I were to beat all the Chadley missions, do the again, we're in the spoiler territory, so it's fine. Do all the Gilgamesh Island stuff. Do there's one last side quest that I can't finish because it's bugged. So like, if I were to go through and do all of the stuff that you did, I bet my in-game timer would still be lower.
Oh yeah, I was fucking around, like I was running around everywhere. I was doing shit, playing Queen's Blood. Did you beat Queen's Blood?
I did.
You got that fucking Vincent shooting the card and Vincent saving your life.
So fucking good.
I did not see Vincent being in the Queen's Blood. Like, it wasn't in my cards. It wasn't in his cards.
Hey.
Hey.
Honestly, so it would have been the fucking, like, I know that they had to have like a heroic thing for it, but like, what if it was just like it with the Midgar Zolom, where like you the Shadow Blood Queen has you in her thrall and she's about to kill you, and then fucking Sephiroth shows up and cuts the card in half and is like, "What is this petty bullshit, Cloud? You have a black materia to go get, idiot."
I was 100% expecting Sephiroth to be the final fucking battle. I don't know why I was.
God, I'm glad they didn't. That would have cheapened so many things.
Or a Sephiroth cosplayer, at least. I mean, he was popular before he went all evil, and no one really knows he's evil.
That's true. That's true. I think it is a secret. Although I guess you could have just like, could have gotten any of the black robe people. Okay, God, we have. Oh, okay. We have too many things to talk about.
All right, well, go ahead.
Okay, the ending. So I number one, I'll tell you where I died in the final boss rush. In the final boss rush, there's I swear to you, fucking 12 phases.
Yeah, fuck.
It just doesn't stop. And so I died right before the last one. Like I died in the last one, I think.
Wait, you died to Bizarro Sephiroth?
No. I died in Sephiroth versus Cloud and
Aerith.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Only once though.
So dumb. Yeah, only the once, but like it was enough that it's mainly the main thing was I was like, oh my God, he's so close to dead. Like I staggered him twice and like really kicked the shit out of him, but he had just a little bit of HP left, and I'm like, all right, I can get through this. It's not a big deal. And so I didn't heal up after he like did a thing, and then he did a bigger thing, and we all died. And I was like, God, that's my fault, and it sucks.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. I had to switch to Aerith a lot because I have her like on auto heal with the materia to auto heal party members and shit, and use items on herself. I just didn't. I dropped it. Like I went to Cloud, and then Sephiroth beat the shit out of Cloud while I was like prepping Aerith to do stuff for ATB, and then he died. And Aerith can't hold her own against Sephiroth. She didn't have ATB because I just spent it.
Yep.
So he killed her. But I don't know if you did the same thing, but I am stupid. When I died that first time to him, it says...
God, yes.
It says retry at the beginning of this battle or retry from...
It says retry from... So there's three of them. There's retry from before this battle, retry from this battle, and retry from the last checkpoint. And those options are fucking confusing.
Yeah, so I was like, well, this battle, right? I was like, okay, retry from this battle. It put me at the beginning of this 30 to 40 minute long battle.
Yes. Yeah. I did that as well. Like, and it's like there's a previous fight, the fight with Genova. Same thing happened where like I accidentally party wiped because I wasn't paying attention, and I was like, oh yeah, restart from this fight, and it restarted the whole fucking thing, and I was like, no way. I must have read the wrong option. Like I was fully convinced, because when you say restart from this battle, I'm like, okay, this battle is the one that I'm fighting right now. Right? I should restart from right here. When you say restart from before this battle, I'm imagining like, oh, well, we're exiting the entire battle before I get into it, so I can like set my materia and like, do item stuff before I get in. If I'm like, oh, I need to actually swap some stuff in my characters. That's what I'm imagining that means. And it isn't.
And when you hover over, it doesn't explain to you what you mean.
I'm telling you, one more year and this game would have been perfect.
It's just it pissed me off. And I when I pressed it and I saw that Zack and Cloud were in the fucking just blank realm fighting, so I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, I was pissed. But,
yeah,
I mean,
I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see how far this goes, and I was playing. Until, and this is very uncharacteristic now that I have a toddler, I was playing until 2 a.m.
Damn.
My wife was like watching and like kind of falling asleep. and I was like, oh god, we're so close to done. And then I did like restart from last battle, and it restarted from fucking 6 battles ago, and I was like, oh, then never mind. I guess we're not doing it today. And I just shoved I was like, shut it all down, shut it down, shut down the whole house. We're going to bed.
This is stupid. Yeah, no, dude. But I mean, when I did it, because like it only took me one death to do it again and beat it. But like I already got Zack and Cloud's fight down. I'd already gotten Barret, Yuffie, and Red's fight down. It was easy. And then I got the solo Zack fight. That was down. That was way easy.
Mm-hmm.
It was just Cloud and Aerith fight.
Yeah.
Because Aerith is shit as backup.
Yeah.
So, but I did it and I beat the game, and let me tell you, it was just like, what? So Zack, in like little fucking spurts throughout the game, you'll see the cutscene of Zack and Biggs, and you're like, okay, this takes place before, or after the Midgard battle from part 1, and before Calm, and it'll explain how we got the Calm. Well, fucking spoilers, it doesn't.
No,
it doesn't tell us how we got the fucking Calm.
Because number one, it doesn't need to, because it already that happened off screen, and the off screen bit was explained, and also it was pretty clear from the second that the game started that it couldn't have been in this timeline.
Dude, I'm telling you, I didn't want to believe you, but it's true. This was a different timeline. The Zack side story is a different timeline.
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid.
It's not stupid. It's very cool.
It's stupid.
I think it's very cool.
Your Honor, let the fucking court see that it's stupid.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, like, even if you take the context of like this is happening in a different timeline, even if you take that out, it's like the fact that you get to play as Zack and you're seeing like some weird shit happening. You're like, oh, what is happening here? This is strange. And he's like interacting with Kyrie, and I'm like, get the fuck out of my game. I don't need you here, Kyrie. Is great.
Yeah, to see Zack's world that just like, well, meteor's coming. Guess we die.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
No one tried to save anyone. Well, then again, the people that were supposed to save it died, I guess.
Yeah.
Except for Cloud and Aerith, but except for it's like the people of this world just gave up on life. They're gonna die.
Yep. Yep.
And so that means Zack's Cloud, I guess, is dead, and Cloud's Zack is dead. But these two timelines, I guess, and they converge, they get to be buddies once again, and Cloud remembers him.
Yeah, well, God, okay, so, like, toward the end, like, after the last time that we talked about this game, like, we went to Nibelheim, and I'm so sorry to have to do this. I'm gonna have to get up and close this door just in case my wife is listening, because I can't reveal the things.
Tell them to go to the store. Get out of here.
Tell them to go to hell. No, okay, so like I was wondering, because they had the sequence where like Tifa's in the live stream, and then she remembers the thing where like Cloud helped her as a kid. And so I was like, oh, well then how are they gonna do like the part where Cloud realizes what actually happened in Nibelheim and like all that stuff? And so I was like, okay, well maybe that's gonna be part of this game. I don't really want it to be, though. And I'm really glad they did it the way they did, because he remembers something. He's like, I remember that Zack exists. I remember that we're really good friends. But his brain can't put together how he and Zack are both there. And he's like, oh God, of course, Zack must have been one of the other grunts, one of the other shitheads that we came with, like this nameless, faceless nobody that fell over a waterfall and died. That's probably him.
That's him.
Oh man, guy died. And he immediately turns around. He's like, oh, Tifa, I remember Zack. He's man,
dead.
He's fucking dead, dude. And Tifa's like, uh-huh. And he's like, yeah, so that's probably why you were acting real weird about all the stuff, right? And she's like, yeah, that's it. That's totally it, dog. And he's like,
Dude,
cool.
Cloud, you
Well,
got
then we should probably tell Aerith, right? And she's like, let me tell her, because I've got boobs, and that's the reason.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, good idea.
let her down easy.
Yeah. God, this whole game has like the whole game is so good at making me be uncomfortable that I'm Cloud. Like I'm in the first game, there's like parts where you're like, oh God, like he's got these like headaches and he can't remember what's going on. He's like a little bit confused, maybe a little bit hard-hearted, you know, you're like, you know, but ultimately like he's a dude that saves people. This is great. In the second game, there's so many times where like he just fucking spazzes out and gets all Sephiroth and like is a massive shithead and also like misremembers things and is like he talks about things and you just go, no, dude, no, stop. Yeah. Come on, man.
It's so funny how like little no one stops him when he goes off the rails.
Yeah. I mean, to be like, I would think that they like Tifa, number one, very fucking brave, especially toward the end. He's like, oh, I'm I'm a big old guy, and I'm gonna hit you off this ledge, and like almost kill you. And then she's like, I trust you for no fucking reason, I guess.
Yeah.
And then later on in the game, she like he Sephiroth's out again, and she's like, hey, fucking chill, dude. And I was like, that's fucking brave, because I can get where the other characters are coming from. They're like, this is the most badass murderer dude in our party. There's no way, like, that would be like waking up like a sleepwalker. You'd be like, he's gonna fucking kill me for sure. And he can. I know he can. I've seen him do it.
I've seen him kill for less.
I've seen him kill for nothing.
Dude, especially like at the end of the temple when he's like fully possessed, he's like, "Come on, Aerith, I'm not gonna hurt you. Just give me the materia." And she's like, "No, dude."
Yeah, and he's laughing at it, and I'm like, oh God, I'm so uncomfortable. Like everything inside, like,
me?
God, when you have to go through the trial where like everybody has to re-experience their like biggest trauma, and then afterward, Aerith is like, "Listen, it's all worth it," because. Like, to be fair, she did a fucking really blatant Kingdom Hearts ass speech that was unnecessary, but I get. And then Cloud said what I thought out loud, and I felt like a piece of shit for it, because he was like, are you done? Right. We have to move. Yeah, you're like, damn, dude, fuck, Cloud.
And Hera's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Hera's like, yeah,
right?
Of course, yeah, good point. Yeah, we gotta keep moving.
Are you done with your dumbass speech? We gotta go.
Yeah. God, most of the ending bits, like, you know, you find, like, you do the stuff in Cosmo Canyon, the Gi happen, whatever. You go to Nibelheim, you go to the reactor, Wu-Tai is there for some fucking reason. You find Vincent, he shows up at some point, then you fly to the Corel, you fly to Gold Saucer, you do the date to get the keystone. Kate Sith steals the keystone, gives it to the Turks. You go to the Temple of the Ancients, and then the ending of the game is the Temple of the Ancients, like...
Yeah, no, the Lost City.
Yeah, well, is the Temple of the Ancients being destroyed and then going to the Lost City.
Yeah.
So, that's, like...
that's the game.
One of the...
Dude, Temple of the Ancients is fucking huge.
It is, yeah. And I was like, I was really pleased with the way the Temple of the Ancients went. And I also, this is like first part of like theory crafting shit that's happening. So like in the original game, the reason why Kate Sith like comes in at the end and basically rescues the day is because like the Temple of the Ancients has you like answer questions and shit, and it gets smaller and smaller until it like compresses itself back into the black materia, and like that's a cool ass mechanic, and this game doesn't do that.
Well, no,
but does it
in the original? Like they find the black materia in that one hallway, and if you like move it on the fucking pedestal, it gets smaller. Or if you try to take it, if you like pick it up and try to take it, the more it's away from the pedestal, like the smaller it gets.
Yeah.
So
which like, when Aerith at the end, like you see the thing and Cloud fucking is like jonesing for his black materia fix, and it's like, oh, I need this. Oh, he's such a fucking twink. It's ridiculous. Yeah. He's like,
I think my favorite part is they're just like, Cloud, that fucking black materia is not the real thing, and he's just fucking takes it anyway and puts it in his pocket.
Yeah, he's like, no, you're stupid. You're lying. You're a liar. And so, like, that's the thing is, like, Aerith specifically is like, that's not the real black materia. And he's like, you're stupid. So, and then she's still like, you know, she's like runs away with the black materia.
Yeah.
And the temple does compress. And I think it does turn into black materia at the end.
Yeah,
that's like at the bottom of the pit. But like you and Aerith are like at the end of the thing, Cloud's like, give me a spooch and also the black materia, baby.
Give me the black materia.
He's like shuffling along.
I'll eat your whole butthole.
I'll do it. I'll do it in front of all these people. I've done it in so many timelines. I'll do it in this one too.
Even though you're all sweaty, I'll do it.
I'll do it. That makes it better, actually.
Oh, hell yeah. Bless the sun, go.
So, like, they get out onto this ledge, fucking, like, Sephiroth cuts the tendril that they're on, and then they fall into the abyss. There's a whole thing where, like, we'll talk about the bit that happens there, but then Cloud basically wakes up on Barret's back. They've, like, Aerith woke up. Yeah, baby.
Hell yeah.
And then they like go toward the ancient city. So in that time, it's unexplained like what happens, what's in the pit, like so they don't really know. What I'm going to bet is that the thing that Cloud has is not actually the black materia. It's a decoy shit ass one. And the real one is held by somebody else in the party.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
That's because
he gave the decoy. Well, he gave someone. He didn't give Sephiroth the black materia.
Yes, but then he has it at the end of the game, right? Because
the decoy. That's the decoy.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Or you know what? Maybe it's not. Maybe he swapped them. Like he had the decoy, and then when Sephiroth asked for the materia, he swapped them and gave Sephiroth the decoy.
Yeah, could be. There's a bunch of stuff that could happen. So the part that I just left out is like after Cloud and Aerith basically fall down this pit, you go into the Zack timeline, and both Cloud and Aerith, who were in comas in that timeline, wake up and they go on a little date. And it's really interesting because they go on a date in Sector 5 and everybody's just like, the world's ending. Take whatever you want. It's free. I don't give a fuck.
Isn't this great?
And like they're on this date, and it becomes clear that like with every sort of choice, because they flash to Zack like is like, oh man, do I go to Hojo to find a cure for Cloud, or do I go to save Biggs from bombing this last reactor? And he picks Cloud, right? But then he also picks Biggs in a different timeline. And it becomes clear that what the game is setting up is that like at every sort of major plot decision point, though, like it creates a branching timeline no matter what you do.
Yeah, because I think the Zack in the Biggs timeline dies like he did at the end of original 7.
Yep.
Where the soldiers fucking converge on him and shoot him.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm going on my terms, and fucking dies.
He's like, and then he dies in a reactor like a nobody. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know why he would do that.
I don't know. There's like 10 of them. He could have took them.
Yeah, he could have took the whole thing. But yeah, like so that's what it's setting up, and you could tell because the stamps keep changing. The Shinra dog mascot, dog. The breed of dog keeps changing. So like there's a bunch of different timelines that you cycle through, and it all has to do with like the choices that you make. And like after the end of this date, basically what happens is that Cloud, like it's Cloud and Aerith, and Aerith basically at the end of like of this date, she gives him the holy materia and pushes him back into his own timeline as Sephiroth is coming through the fucking door about to murk her. And what's interesting about that is that we know that the Aerith in our current timeline has the holy materia, but it's clear. Like, it looks like there's nothing in it anymore. So this is an interesting way in which Aerith is able to, like, because I think Sephiroth definitely knows and can act about like multiverses and stuff. Like in all these different converging timelines, I think Sephiroth knows about them. And I think Sephiroth's plan is on like a sort of like a multi-universe type scale rather than just one planet. But I think Cloud does too. Sorry, not Cloud. I think Aerith does too.
Yeah,
and I think Aerith is like, this world is doomed. Take this materia that works to yours and fucking pushes him out of the timeline.
Yeah, because for whatever reason, Aerith in our timeline, in Prime Line, her materia doesn't work for whatever reason, or it's null.
Yeah, I think that happened because you kill the Whispers. Like in part 1, I think you kill the Whispers, and that's what happens to it.
Maybe that's what happens when you killed Fate.
Yeah, is all of a sudden they're like, you fucked up everything, dude.
So there's that. He pushes her in, and then with the last fight, that's when like timelines are converging. But before like that happens, I was almost really pissed off because I know we've joked about it before this game came that like, what if Aerith doesn't die in this game? Because with the sword scene, like it's happening.
Yep.
And he saves her, or like it's like flickering, and that you see her get stabbed, but then you see Cloud like save her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh fuck you. I'm like, no. I'm like, don't do that. I was like, she can't live. Don't do that.
I really like the way that they did that too. Like the whole effect looks so good because like me as well. Like while I was watching it, I was like, oh god, what's gonna happen? Like Sephiroth's about to do it, and then Cloud like jumps and like knocks the sword out in the nick of time, and she's like fine, and you're like, oh holy shit, it's happening! Like he did it, like like he's averting fate. Oh, this is fucking crazy, and then it zaps to him like not doing it in time and her dying, and you're like, what is happening now? I don't get it. What's happening? Somebody explain.
Yeah, it's not until like all this stuff that I realize we're seeing like timelines all at once and converging that you realize what happened, which is fucking very fucky. I hate that.
Yeah, I really like it a lot because like the cool thing about this is you're now like, it leaves enough open to where you're like, okay, so like the timelines can interact with each other. We know that Aerith knows about timelines. Zack appears to be still alive because there's a number of moments in the final fight where Zack and Cloud are in the same timeline, the same universe. And actually, I think probably one of my probably my favorite fight actually is the fight against Bizarro Sephiroth where Zack can get a synergy attack with Cloud, and you attack him across dimensions. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is awesome!
It's fucking Zack is fighting Bizarro Sephiroth in like the Midgard church that's floating in fucking I don't know, exploded Earth that meteor hit.
Yeah.
It looks like it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
And Cloud is fighting Bizarro Sephiroth in fucking purgatory.
Yeah.
And first of all, when Bizarro Sephiroth showed up, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I was like, why is he here?
Same. I thought it was a kind of a baller move to be like, hey, we're just gonna pull a phase out of the final boss fight and put it in this one. I was like, that's bold as shit of you to do, but okay, sure.
When I was fighting, I was like, were we just not gonna have a 3-phase battle? Because like they even did the fucking Cloud like after you beat Safer Sephiroth
Mm-hmm.
and Cloud is going through the live stream to Omni/Sephiroth. They kind of did that with Zack and Sephiroth when
Yeah.
it's like flashing between them.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
You're like, damn, dude.
I was like, what's the last game gonna be? Fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, so there's a bunch of stuff that I'm so like the end of the game has.
Oh wait.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say before that, I'm very sad that they didn't do the Cloud walking, like wading through water and dropping Aerith.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested to see what happens or happened there, because the end of the game, Cloud doesn't think that Aerith died. He just doesn't.
No,
he doesn't know.
No, Cloud just sees her ghost.
Well,
I think he realizes that that's her ghost.
I don't know that he does. I think he's convinced that she's there, and I think as we play the last game, it's just going to keep getting more and more uncomfortable. I think that Cloud, like in the last game, is going to be doing things like, well, what does Aerith think we should do? And everybody's like, can you fucking...
Well, no,
stop,
because
dude?
she doesn't follow her.
That's true. You're right. So they won't know.
Yeah, fucking Cloud knows she's dead. He just sees her spirit.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think Cloud knows that she died.
I think he does. I don't think it's gonna be a case of like fucking seeing Aerith wherever. I think he knows that she passed away because like he did drop her in the water. They're all by the water where he dropped her body in. So he's seeing the spirit. He's just like, oh, she's telling me everything's gonna be okay. So I'm gonna believe in Aerith.
I'm just reading right now that I am right and you were wrong. That Cloud does believe that she is still alive and is unaware that he's the only one. In the Final Fantasy wiki, the source of information.
Anyone could do anything to wiki. Fuck you. You go to hell. That can't be true. I'm not gonna believe it's true. I'm living in my timeline where it's not true.
This is coming from the person who didn't understand anything about the Final Fantasy X storyline, so I'm not gonna put any stock in your opinions on storyline things at all.
I understand Final Fantasy X just fine.
Yeah, the one that you made up in your brain and not the real one.
What are you talking about?
We had a whole conversation about that, about the fact that I think the Final Fantasy X plot is shit. And you were like, nah, that's not the plot of Final Fantasy X. This is the plot of Final Fantasy X. And I had to be like, let me tell you what the ending of Final Fantasy X was. And you were like, oh, I didn't think it was that. I like mine better.
Yeah,
there was a whole episode.
I don't think it was that. I like mine better.
Yeah.
Just like what's going
this.
on right now. Just like this. I don't like that, and I like mine better.
So basically Cloud, and it's so uncomfortable because Cloud is like smiling and he's like, come on guys, we gotta go find Sephiroth, and everybody's like I'm still so deeply fucking sad about Aerith, and Cloud doesn't get it. It's like Cloud is like, the vibe is off. Cloud just makes you feel gross inside.
He's just like, he's like real happy. He's like, you know what, everything's gonna be cool. And fucking Tifa's like fucking moping around. She's just like, oh, nothing's gonna be fine anymore.
Yeah.
And everything's somber, but it ends very beautifully on the flowers and the plain. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember what it said at the end. It was just like, that's it for now, or something. Remember.
Yeah.
I don't know what it said. Colby, look it up.
I mean, I don't remember. It had one of those like Square Enix, this is the end of the game, but it's not really over yet kind of things.
Yeah, it had like a question mark. I don't know. I took a picture of it on my PS5.
And you were like, damn, that's deep.
I was saying that's real deep. Too bad that's not what really happened.
I'm gonna get that tattooed on me right now.
Go to my local tattoo parlor and get a picture of Red 13 just raw dogging Aerith.
So yeah, what I think is going to happen for the next game, I think it's called Reunion. I think what'll happen in Reunion is like Cloud is going to fall in the live stream like usual. He's going to realize
gonna fight the weapons.
That would be fucked up if it was just a solo boss fight. To be fair, if he fought like
I mean, the team's gonna fight the weapons.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, I'm talking about like specifically when Cloud falls in the live stream. I think that he's going to realize like the truth about what's happening and what happened, and be so fucking shocked by it. God, I hope he cries. I hope he cries like a little bitch.
He just has a big long cry about it.
He did. Oh. I did see him cry. It was great.
Oh, dude, it felt like real. The way he was talking and crying, it felt real.
Yeah,
felt like Cloud was in a room with me. He's like,
dude, it was like the voice actor for Cloud did a really good job there, and Sephiroth's just so good at like, why are you pretending like you have feelings? The thing is, I hate. Yeah. I've had a bunch of like brain things where I'm like, man, do I experience emotions the same way that people do? I'm not convinced that I have the same feelings that people do. So when Sephiroth said that, I was like, oh, fuck you. Don't make me go down this rabbit hole again. Please, sir.
My therapist's going to hate you for this.
Yeah. All day in therapy tomorrow. I'm just going to be like, and then he said that I was just a puppet to fate.
She's just like, God, you can't have someone that's not upset over a video game.
Yeah, please. I know you. Listen, you pay me very well. You don't pay me enough for this.
I like what happened. I like the ending. It was very nice. The graphics were good. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering how they're gonna handle the high wind.
Yeah, me too.
We got to see it for a little bit. I was excited.
Yeah, I'm interested too, because like I'm interested in not only the high wind, but also like whenever you go back to places like Junon and like other like, are you still gonna have like world map side questy bullshit to do?
Probably, yeah. I'm wondering how Rocket Town's gonna be, dude. I'm wondering how the space mission's gonna go.
Hell yeah,
dude, that's gonna be great.
Yeah,
I'm real excited about it. I wonder if they're gonna do that fucking safe to get the huge materia out of the rocket. If you're gonna have, I wonder if you could fuck up the train from fucking Corel and people are still gonna hate you or whatever.
Oh yeah, that would be sick if like, because I do like the idea, and I've always thought it would be kind of fucked up if you like. If you fail to get the huge materia from like all of those different places, like if you fail to get the huge materia, I'll say specifically from the rocket, it would be very funny if the rocket collided with the meteor and the meteor exploded and everybody's like, wow, thanks Shinra. Thank you for not doing shit, Avalanche. And you're just on the ground like, what the fuck, man? They're like, yeah, we knew it. Big materia, blow up big meteor. Duh, just makes sense, idiot.
It's not materia, it's orbs. God,
orbs. Give me the orbs.
Give me the
orbs. I want the huge orb.
Tifa, show me your orbs. Yeah, no, that's a game. It was really good, and I mean, there's nothing more to say. Like the ending was like kind of not abrupt, but it just happened. Like you beat Sephiroth, it's like, all right, I'll see you in the next game, and then like they throw Aerith in the ocean. And then they just fly off.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. The end of the game? No, the end of the the end of the game is really interesting because it sets up a lot of cool stuff. The text that Fee sent me whenever he finished the game, that I was like, oh man, why'd you fucking spoil it? And then
I didn't spoil anything.
You didn't. The text that he sent was like, wow, what a Tetsuya Nomura ass ending. And I heard that and was like, oh god, it's gonna be a fucking over-explained, stupid ass thing that I'm not gonna be into. And then I remembered that we had just talked about the fact that the one thing that Tetsuya Nomura is very good at is writing an ending that's so over the top and crazy and has so many loose threads at the end that you're like, well, I fucking need to play more right now.
Yeah, it really did that. It felt like Kingdom Hearts, especially that last battle. It was Kingdom Hearts 1. It was like Kingdom Hearts 1 with all the fucking phases.
Mm-hmm.
Going and fighting the different bosses, teaming up with people. Zack and Cloud, that was Riku and Sora.
Yeah.
And then fucking everyone joining in. It was just Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it definitely was. And I ate it all up. I loved it.
I did too. I don't hate this game. I think it did great. Like all your little gripes about side quests and it being long and I get it. It kind of was, but I just liked being in this world. I liked being in this game.
Me too. I loved it.
I didn't really like. I didn't think it was stupid. I'm talking to my cousin Mace Tornado about he's playing it right now, and he's just like, dude, some of these side quests are stupid. Like, I don't want to fucking turn all the wheelies back in Costa del Sol, or I don't want to take pictures of cactards. I'm like, well, you don't have to.
Yeah,
but like, if you want to, you can. And I'm just like, I did it because I want to get everything I'm gonna get out of this game from this gameplay. And I'm not going to play the game for like a year. I might play it again before fucking Reunion comes out on hard mode just because.
Yeah.
But until then, like I want to get and I did. I pretty much got all the trophies that you can get besides the one glitched side quest that you can get before having to do hard mode again and doing another playthrough that way. And that trophy's pretty easy. Besides the Proto Relic trophy, I'm not gonna beat Gilgamesh because I'm not gonna fucking grind to level 70 to beat his stupid boss rush. And the thing about that is, I bet I'm gonna grind a shitload and get all my things set up and beat the bosses, and Gilgamesh is gonna be easy.
Mm-hmm.
And that pisses me off.
Yeah, I'm as far as so I talked to you about like the side quests that I had left, specifically like, Gilgamesh stuff, and you were like, yeah, you need to be pretty high level for the pirates. Yeah, you need to be pretty high level for Gilgamesh. Yeah, this quest is bugged, and I was like, okay, well that's all the stuff I have left to do, so I guess I'm gonna go beat the game.
Yeah, and I thought you were gonna be mad at me because you were like, oh well, you spoiled it for me. I just don't want you to waste your time on it.
Yeah, which is
I know you're not gonna grind to beat those fucking high ass bosses.
No, there's not enough in it for me. Like there's not extra cool story or anything. The Gilgamesh stuff I was tempted to do because I was like, I kind of like this Gilgamesh storyline that's happening right now.
I just YouTube it.
I could, yeah. Actually, one thing that I wanted to bring up that got brought to my attention today is the sort of side plot about Rufus. So apparently the
Rufus Shinra?
Yeah, Rufus Shinra. I have a cutout of that guy. Apparently the developer said that Wutai is going to play a really big role in the last game, and I believe it because I think a lot of this game was setting up the fact that Wutai and Shinra are going to go to war. And so I was like, okay, this is like that. That's interesting. That makes sense, huh?
I said that's way different.
It is way different. The thing that I also am interested in is Glenn Lodbrok.
I don't know who I didn't play Intergrade, and I'm sure he was there.
He wasn't.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Glenn Lodbrok.
When they introduced him, I immediately thought, I was like, oh, well, I didn't play Intergrade, so I guess.
Yeah, you were like, it's fine. I don't know this guy. Guess where he's from. You'll never guess.
I don't know. Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. I don't know.
Nope. It's even more obscure than that.
Oh, the cell phone game?
The cell phone game.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wait, the classic one, right, from the flip phone days?
No. The new one. Final Fantasy VII, The First Soldier.
The first... Oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
Nobody played that!
No. I downloaded the beta. I got into the beta, and I downloaded the app and was like, great, I'm excited. And they were like, it's broken. Sorry, you'll be able to play it next week. And then I never played it because I was like, well, there goes every bit of excitement I had about this game. Now I have to like remember to play it, and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I think they already discontinued the services. If not, they are about to.
Mm-hmm. I think they did it actually last year.
Yeah, so like, no point in no one wanted to play a Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale.
No.
It looked kind of fun, but not like cell phone fun.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a fun cell phone game, which is exactly why I didn't play it. So the interesting thing is, I'm looking at I'm looking at everything. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I needed to get my facts in order here. So I'm looking at Glenn Lodbrok. He's like in the black robes, right?
Yeah.
So at first you're like, oh, it's a black robe dude, but he's like moving around kind of weird. And then he just comes in to be like, hey, Rufus, you're kind of a shitter. I'm a big friend with like the new interim government president, Viceroy Saroof. That's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. And he's alluding to the fact that he had died previously.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, who the fuck is Viceroy Saroof?
Good.
I know he says it.
Good question. Viceroy Saroof, actually, in the entire game, they talk about like he's the interim president of Wutai. He joined up with like Glenn Lodbrok and his like former soldier unit that defected and went to Wutai, and then they're starting up a resistance movement there or whatever, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, it seems like, and this is a current theory that's going around, Viceroy Saroof is actually Rufus.
And because it's like an anagram?
Yes. Because it's a fucking stupid Rufus spelled backwards.
Yes. Oh my god. When I first heard it, I was like, it sounds like Rufus spelled backwards. I'm like, but they're not that stupid.
Mm-hmm.
That is so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god. Okay, so yeah, the Viceroy Saroof.
God, it's stupid now.
It is, right? It's fucking terrible. So yeah, like in First Soldier, they basically get Wutai to like lay down arms and then like there's this, the interim government, which is like Glenn Lodbrok and the mysterious Viceroy Saroof. Glenn became one of the leaders of the interim government under the mysterious Viceroy Saroof and was shot in the back by Rufus Shinra and left for dead. So that's what happened at the end of First Soldier, right?
This is just Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 2 all over again. No one played the cell phone game. No one played Chain of Memories.
I played Chain of Memories.
Yeah, I know, but you're dumb and everyone hates you.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So yeah, it's like he's a character from that, and it's not super clear if like he's actually dead or if like, because at the end of Rebirth, it looks like the Glenn Lodbrok that like comes to taunt Rufus and also like is like basically declaring war in Wutai.
Yeah,
it seems
ISIS
like
style fucking stream.
It seems
screen.
like it's live on stream. He said, all right, if you donate $15, we're gonna go to war with Shinra right now. 200 subs and I'll take a shit on Rufus's desk when we get there.
We put a poll on what we should do next to prank Shinra up on Twitter.
Yeah, make sure to go vote in that, and also follow us on all the platforms. So like apparently, at the end of the game, Lodbrok is there and is like again talking shit at Rufus, and then Rufus shoots him a bunch. But he's just another black robe, and it seems that it's actually been Sephiroth just trying to distract or manipulate Rufus in some way. So I think what actually happened is this person who's claiming to be Lodbrok shows up and is like, hey, I'm big friends with Viceroy Saroof. Congratulations, new president. Just don't go fucking around or anything, And he's like, I'll show you. I'll fuck around. I'm gonna shoot this big gun. You won't like that. And he's like, no, don't do it. I'll be real sad if you do. So I think what Sephiroth is doing is trying to make a war happen.
Yeah,
probably because a bunch of people are gonna fucking die, and he's going to absorb the fucking live stream energy.
Yeah, that does sound about right. It makes sense too. It's just that, man, I really hated that fucking Rufus and Glenn Lodbrok, the character no one knows. I was like really confused. I was like, I don't know who this guy is.
Come on,
And
man.
I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care about him. Rufus is stupid. He's gonna die in the next game. But that's cool. That means that reunion is gonna take place like mostly in Wutai. And we're gonna probably start off because they rebuilt the Tiny Bronco. The beginning of reunion is probably gonna take place with them going to Rocket Town.
Yeah.
Just to like, I don't know, get spare parts for the Tiny Bronco before shit be happening, before war were declared.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go through like most of the middle of it's gonna be doing war with Wutai. I feel like reunion's gonna be just more story based and not like open, right? Because Earth is gonna be in turmoil. We're gonna go back to Rocket Town for like a little bit of like just what's it called, chilling, getting some information, and then like shit's gonna happen, and then a war's gonna break out, and we're gonna go to Wutai and see if we can help them fight Shinra, and then we're gonna find out that they want huge materia. So then we're gonna do the fucking what's it called, the parachute in the Midgar again. It's all gonna be this. We're probably not gonna be able to like go all around the world like we used to, or we might be able to, but it's not gonna be open. And with all these side quests and stuff taking place, we're probably not gonna do Queen's Blood again.
Yeah. What I'm gonna bet is that
it's gonna be more linear.
I think the linear. I think I'm gonna bet that reunion is going to be open world in Wutai and be open world maybe in the continent where Nibelheim is, specifically so that you can go to like Bone Village and go to the whatever the ancient city or whatever. The northern continent, I don't imagine that like, because you have the Icicle Inn, you have the the snow shit. That may be open world, because again, like, I would be surprised if they let us into the same areas that they let us into this time, and that those areas have a bunch of side quests because we already did them.
I know we're gonna go to Gold Saucer again, mostly because the snowboarding minigame says we'll open soon on it. And it never opened during the game, and it didn't open post game, so we're gonna go to Gold Saucer again, so that way we can snowboard with Cloud and probably Sid when Cloud's in a coma.
Yeah, this also made me... I'm wondering if they're gonna correct that, because to me, it never really made sense when they were like, hey, we've kind of like lost our leader.
Sid, you're leader.
Sid, you're the guy now. And Sid's like, what?
Hell,
I don't want to be the leader.
Even though Barret was like, I'll be the leader.
Yeah.
He's like...
Barrett's like, I got a lot of experience leading resistance movements. It's probably a good idea to allow me to do this. They're like, all right, Sid, what do you think? And Sid's like, well, hell, I don't want to do it. I know how to build rocket ships. They're like, good. Yeah. Rocket scientist. Perfect. Yeah. You'd be great. And he's like, no, I said no. I don't want to. Oh, damn it.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. Happened again.
I tell myself this every time, Sid, you got to stand up for yourself.
And I just Sid, you got to tell people you will not lead resistance movements anymore. It's happened 5 or 6 times now.
I just never say no, and I'm already elbow deep in this shit. I got to stop. Just... Oh, that's so good. I wonder... It's so funny, because, like, Sid doesn't fight this game. Like, in the next game, are they going to go to Rocket Town? He's like, we got to stop so I can get my spear. Just... Is that what's gonna happen?
Hey, we gotta go back. I need a big harpoon.
If you want me to fight for the cause, I gotta go get my harpoon. That's what real rocket scientists fight with. Fucking, and then Vincent's like, okay, I'm on your party now. I'm going to I don't know, he's a vampire. I'm going to use my gun for good. Yeah. I picture Vincent sounding like a Spaniard. I don't know why. Like a Transylvanian Spaniard.
Good, yes. Like Bane if he didn't have the mask on.
Yeah, like fucking Batman the Animated Series Bane. He's just he's like, sometimes I like to sleep in a coffin. If you want to sleep with me, you can come in and squeeze. Do not worry. I do not bite. Not hard, at least.
Well, you're pretty emo for you.
He's like, Vincent, what's that poking my leg? It is my gun, Cerberus. And just do not look down. It has 3 barrels.
It's my gun, Cerberus. Don't check.
Don't look.
Don't look. Don't do it.
It is my penis. I call it the Galleon Beast. Like,
No.
God, it'd be so great if he did talk like that. I wish he did.
Yeah,
no,
honestly.
I wish he did. These are my PJs. These are PJs.
It's about PJs.
Hey, look on my blouse. Okay, I couldn't take it seriously. Like a Vincent Nacho Libre.
God, why not? Fuck it.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
I really want to play as Vincent and Sid and see what their fighting styles are going to be like, because I also appreciate that Vincent was like, get out of here, I'm all pissed off, and we're like, yeah, all right, and then he turns into chaos, and you're like, okay, well, let me just like spank your stupid ass real quick, and then I'll leave, and he's like, oh, I'm going to go to bed.
Screw you guys! I'm going back to bed.
I feel like
he didn't turn to chaos. He turned to the Galleon Beast.
Yes, thank you, Galleon Beast. I feel like probably what happened, and he's like, all right, like the whole reason why I don't want to leave this place is because I could turn into this monster. But if I'm around a bunch of people that kick my ass, it's probably fine, right?
Yeah. That's true. Like, his limit breaks are transformations. He's gonna turn to this big monster, like in the next game, whenever he gets a limit break.
Yeah, fuck it.
It'd be crazy. You know what? Okay, so explain to me this. In Yuffie's shut up. In Yuffie's memory in the Temple of the Ancients.
Yeah.
It goes back to like her with her like old friend that died, I guess.
Sonon,
Intergrade. Yeah, and then that fucking neon looking guy showed up at the end, and like the straight. Is that the guy from Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my god, that's so stupid. Because like in Dirge of Cerberus, she didn't know who that guy was.
Yeah, so what they were trying to do in Intergrade is to be like, hey, you remember all that shit that we did like in Dirge of Cerberus and also like before Crisis and also like all of that stuff where we were like, there's a thing called Deep Ground and there's other people are there too. They had one of those guys, which is why I was like, I hate this. It's Nero, actually. It's Nero.
Yeah, Nero.
He's one of those like, oh, this guy's experiment. He's under the big thing. It's really stupid.
Yeah.
And I hate it a lot, and I hate Nero a lot. Just the whole Deep Ground thing is dumb. The fact that they were like, this is canon. Just FYI, it's canon.
God, yeah. When he showed up, I was like, "Oh fuck, I hate this." I'm like, "Please get him off the screen." I was like, "That's Dirge of Cerberus." I'm like, "Don't Dirge of Cerberus shouldn't be canon."
Yeah, agreed.
It just shouldn't be. And like when they showed him, I'm like, "Fuck, it's canon," and I hate that.
Yeah. So Nero is Whis' brother. And Whis is the final boss of Dirge of Cerberus.
I don't remember him. Like I don't remember him because I played the game once and beat it, and I remember nothing about it.
Yep, don't need to.
Don't need to.
It's all stupid.
It's all stupid. I hate it. I remember fighting a big muscle guy in Dirge of Cerberus. I did like the combat in Dirge of Cerberus, mostly because you're in the Final Fantasy universe, third-person shooter.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. Pretty cool. It's kind of fun. It's fun to fuck around with, not to take seriously.
Yeah. Which, like, I was there for the story, obviously. I did not get that.
I tried to be there for the story. I really did, but
I finished Urge of Cerberus and was like, wow, this is fine.
wow, I feel nothing.
Yeah, I feel nothing about this. I did finish it. That's cool, I guess.
It was like Devil May Cry light in a Final Fantasy suit.
I'm going to bet that there is going to be a game between Reunion and this one, and I
DLC
want to
for
know.
This game?
Yeah, like a DLC for this game.
Like Intergrade, right?
Yeah. What do you think? I don't give a shit about the title, but what do you think it could be about? Because
it's
Intergrade or Intermission, depending on what you're talking about, is like, it makes sense because you're like, okay, Yuffie is going to join the party at some point. This is a side story. It's like parallel to like all the current events that are happening. You're like, okay, that's kind of cool. I'm wondering, like,
it's going to be about Vincent. It's going to be about Vincent and when he was in the Turks. It's going to be about Vincent when he was in the Turks, introduces to his gameplay, and then it's going to what's it called? Go back to when he was a Turk, like you did in the old game where you find out he's a Turk. And then it's gonna show him like doing all the missions when what was it, Ifalna or what's
Lucrezia?
Lucrezia. Oh, stupid name. I hate that.
Great. It's a beautiful name.
Dude, when I first heard about Lucrezia in the OG game, I thought her name was just Lucretia.
Yeah,
because that's a normal name.
Lucrezia is the way that you can pronounce Lucretia. I think it's fine. I think it's the same name.
Yeah, but Lucretia, I've heard people like named Lucretia before. I've heard that in fiction.
Uh-huh. Yeah. What game? Was it Final Fantasy VII, you fucking idiot?
Maybe. I've heard it in like other things. Like I can't name them now, but I know there's like Lucretias in like TV shows and movies. At least one or a few that I've heard.
Okay.
But I've never heard Lucrezia.
I think that's maybe the Italian way of pronouncing it.
Yeah, there's no Italian. There's no Italia.
There's no Italia to speak of, okay?
In Final Fantasy VII. Which is funny because pizza exists.
I mean Vincent, Vincenzo. Just call him Vincenzo.
I was gonna say Vincente.
Yeah, Vicente. He's the guy.
Come back to my house. It's the Leaning Tower of Pizza.
I think I'm just gonna throw this out there because it's a wild idea. Maybe we're gonna follow Cisne.
Cisne?
Yeah, the leader of the like resistance movement in Gungaga, who apparently is also a Turk.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be Vincent, and she's gonna show up as well. Back when she was a Turk, and it's all gonna be about like you see when you saw Aerith doing before she fucking joined up with the crew. It's gonna be Vincent before joining the crew, and just for funsies. After Reunion comes out, I bet there's going to be a DLC for that. That's just going to be the Advent Children DLC.
Oh, man. I hope not.
I hope so. Man, when I first saw Advent Children, and a lot of people not going to like this, but I liked Advent Children. Stupid story, but I liked it.
I mean, it's cool. Advent Children is cool.
Yeah.
That's it. It's cool. It doesn't have a great story. It's got a bunch of cool scenes. It's got a bunch of shit that doesn't make sense. It's fun.
It's
a fun thing. I am glad that it's separate. I'm glad that it wasn't included in Final Fantasy though, in Final Fantasy VII, because that means that I could ignore it as non-canon. I could be this is some fan fiction. It's fine. It's good fan fiction. No. It's not that great though.
DLC in Reunion. That's gonna be the last fucking content.
Man,
you're gonna be able to fight Kadaj and his two brothers, Laws and Dawes, or whatever the name
Yeah,
is.
Kadaj and Kabaj and Jugaj.
Dubul.
Suffrage.
Sephiroth. It's me, Sephiroth.
That's when we Setharoth.
And that's what, with the stupid double-bladed one sword. And that's when we find out Rufus was still alive. He was carrying around a PSP the whole time, full of Genova's blood.
God.
And that was great. I thought it was good. I liked it. I don't care what anyone thinks. I thought it was great. I thought it was a fun movie. People hated it so much, but then we got to see Barret in cornrows, and he had a white vest on. It was great.
Yeah, which that was kind of sick.
Advent Children's the first time I heard, like, throughout the whole OG Final Fantasy VII, I just thought they were called Shinra. I didn't know they were an electric company.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of Advent Children, they're like, we fought against Shinra Electric Power Company. And I was like, what? I was like, when did they become a fucking power company? I just thought they were Shinra. I had no idea they were a fucking electric company.
Yeah, when I was a kid, a lot of it kind of went over my head. Like, I knew that Shinra was the bad guy, but I thought that Shinra was the government.
Yeah,
and it is kind of, but kind of not.
Yeah, right. And I was just like, wait, who let this power company get so much fucking power in the world?
Yeah, why does this power company have like a military, like a world-class military force? It's because they got all the money.
I just thought it was like a government and military like place that was just taking over the world.
Yeah,
that's what I thought, but I guess I'm stupid.
God, I'm same thing with you. I just didn't understand what was really going on there, and was just like, yeah, Shinra's the government. And then the older that I got, I was like, well, Shinra's a power company that basically is the government. And then now that I'm my age, I'm like, I think that's right. That seems right.
It's never really explained.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that you just take at face value. That maybe it is a government and they just go by Shinra Power Company to sell the Earth's mana to people to power their houses.
I think it's all just because they've got like it started off as Shinra Power Company, and
they're just a world power now.
Yeah.
There's only two world powers, Shinra and Wutai.
God, there was... Oh, man. I'm going to have to reread this because Shinra was... Oh, that's right. Shinra was a weapons manufacturer before they discovered Mako. And then... so it makes sense that they, like, make a shit ton of guns. And now that they're like, oh, we can also make power, we need to buy a bunch of military people. And then... Yeah, okay, so then they end up, like, taking over places and being like, we're going to liberate you from the Republic of Junon, and here's some Mako. Oh, and also we're going to build a reactor right here, and if you do anything about it, we're going to fucking kill you.
Also, we're going to build this big circular fucking city, and it's going to... People can live under it, and we don't like those people, but the people that live on top, we're going to like them a lot.
Yeah.
It was a really weird... It's still really weird to me that people choose to live in the fucking slums and not in, like, the beautiful countryside.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing that I am going to imagine is it's partially like they're getting paid, right? Like Shinra is like, hey, we need you to work on this city, and we're gonna pay you a bunch of money. Not enough to live on this in the city up top, but you can live underneath it if you want. And they're like, okay, because that's if you don't know, because they do detail some of this inside of the book Two Pasts.
The book that you read and no one else did.
Yes, the book that only I read. Yeah, they basically like they have a bunch of contractors that come in order to like build the plate, and then most of the construction workers live under it. And so like as they're constructing the city, like all of these construction companies are like sprouting up in the Undercity, because paying people that live up top is too expensive.
Yeah.
And so all the actual like day laborers are working there, which is how like people start families down there. And then now that's just where they live is under the plate.
God, that's so close to like what's going on in real world.
Yeah.
You know, refinery, especially where we live, or I live right now.
Mm-hmm.
Refineries being built like all over, except like they pay them enough to have nice houses. But there's people that just live in RVs out by where I live.
Yeah, dude. Fun fact, they call them like whenever you do an oil rig on land, they'll set up like an area for the people that work on the rig. And the name that has been given to it in recent years has been man camp. I don't know why, but man camp is they're basically like, yeah, this like big square footage of land, either that they've set up like trailers or you can bring your own trailer or whatever the fuck, but it's like, it's a square footage in which just like basically everybody that works on the oil rig lives here, and it's cheap, or it's like company provided housing.
That's what Elon Musk did with what's his stupid rocket company named?
SpaceX, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he did with SpaceX over in Austin or Houston, is it?
So I think it's actually Brownsville.
The town that he built for his people that work at SpaceX is called Snailbrook.
Yeah. Snailbrook. I'm looking it up. Snailbrook.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Is Elon Musk creating a utopian city? Inside Snailbrook, the utopian town that Elon Musk is building for his employees in Texas. It's near Austin. Okay, so it's for employees, I guess, that are going to be working at Tesla, because SpaceX is not in Austin.
Yeah, it's Tesla.
Yeah.
But I saw like the overhead of it. It's like 4 houses. And I don't know if he plans to build it, but like Kanye West is like, hey, let me get out on that. He's like, I failed to build a city before too, and
sounds like fun.
I really want to build a house. You know, it's me, yay, it's Yeezy.
It's Yee, hey.
Yeah, it's perfect. We live in Texas. Yeehaw! Just
yeehaw. Do you get it?
I'm gonna trademark it. That's gonna be the name of my new album. Yeehaw.
God. Again. Hilariously awful. Yeah, I like, you would imagine that we would learn from the time in which like coal mining companies sprung up a bunch of like towns and then paid people in like company money, where it's like you could only buy things from the company. Like, this is great. I'm foreseeing some shit, you know?
What if like our timeline, where we live, like the actual world happened like Final Fantasy VII, like they have the refineries, but then they start mining the Earth's energy, and then like they build one. The refinery near where I live blows up, and I lose an arm, and I become the man with the gun arm.
Yeah.
Would you come down and join me, Cloud, old buddy?
Oh God. Man, if I'm Cloud in this scenario, no. Like, so many times in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth where I'm like, Cloud, you know you're fucked up, right? Like, you know that you're all weird and some shit's going on with you, because he tells Tifa, he's like, sometimes it just doesn't even feel like I'm me. Like, I've got multiple people inside me. I don't even know who I am anymore. And yet, this motherfucker still goes into like all these important places with his sword on his back. Like, if you know that you're about to get into some shit, maybe take your sword and throw it somewhere, and then be like, I'm gonna go in here without a sword just in case I glitch out.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, then how could he defend himself?
He with his fists.
Nope. He doesn't know how to use those.
Zack's limit break in the final fight has him punching Sephiroth, which is great.
Dude, Zack can use Beat Rush and Crisis Core.
Yeah, true.
So like Zack knows how to hand-to-hand fight. Cloud's a fucking pretender. He doesn't know how to do shit.
Dude, yeah. One of my favorite things is whenever Biggs is like, "Man, Cloud's such a badass," and Zach's like, "We fucking talking about the same Cloud."
Like, are you sure? Like, I don't know. He's not.
My Cloud's kind of a shitter. I don't know. My Cloud gets motion sick because he's a pussa.
Yeah, because he's a big bitcho. God, I don't know. I think if like I was near a refinery explosion and they tried to cover it up and I lost my arm, I'd build me a gun arm. Why not?
Yeah, fuck it. Of course.
That'd be sick. I mean, I wouldn't know what to do with it. I guess it'd make me a better security guard.
Yeah.
Because they'd be like, let's hire the guy with the gun for an arm.
Yeah, people would be pretty nervous around you.
I'd be like, I'm like, what? Just sitting, short little me with the gun on my arm, just fucking.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you say? Huh? And the fucking rev up the Gatling. I don't even know how that would work. I don't know how I'd use it, like just with my arm and not like my other arm.
Well, yeah, and also, God, there's a bunch of questions for like, my wife was like, "Why do you have a problem with Dine having like, you know, a Kira hand, but you don't have a problem with a bunch of the other stuff, like the fact that magic exists?" And I was like, because Dine's thing breaks the continuity of like the things that we know about in Final Fantasy VII, the things that we know about the planet and the Earth and the whole timeline and everything. It adds in some new bespoke shit that only works for him, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, if they were like, oh yeah, you know, Dine fell into the life, or like Dine fell into the life stream, or his arm fell into the life stream, and like we repaired it, or like, I don't know, like, yeah, his hand has some weird properties about it because I don't know, when he fell down, we did some experiments on him or whatever, then maybe okay, but like, I mean, my man literally just gets a bunch of tentacles coming out of his arm. And it's not associated with the materia. It's not associated with the life stream. It's not like a magnetic power that he casts. They come out of his arm. So that's where they live, presumably.
And he has mind powers. He has like minor telekinesis.
What do you mean?
Doesn't he like throw stuff with his mind at you?
I don't think so.
Or is that grenades? I feel like he was throwing junk, like lifting junk up and throwing it at you.
Well, whenever he got his big, huge Akira junk arm, yeah.
Okay, yeah. The Akira arm was throwing it. I don't know, because I didn't like look at him that much. Like, it was just the arm doing it. I just thought he was just fully like telekinesising it.
Well, yeah, like I would. If it was like, oh yeah, he's got this magnet materia or whatever, like if that was dropped, or if it was, you know, this is like a Mako gun or some shit, like sure, okay, like I could take that. No explanation for why his arm does that. No explanation for any of the supernatural shit that he does. So we're left to be like, is this just a bespoke Dine thing? Like, I haven't found any explanation that is satisfactory to me on that point. So I'm like, all right, I'm just not going to think about it because I did not like that.
They really put Barret through the ringer in this game.
Dude,
fuck. With fucking Dine and that whole thing and him dying in his arms, and then taking it back to when his wife died.
God, yeah, Dine and Myrna. God, like, I told my wife, I was like, I like that they replayed everybody's trauma in increasing amounts of trauma. So it's like Red 13. They gave me a tattoo and I hated it.
God, yeah, I was like, that's not as bad as the others.
I was like, man, that's kind of sad. And then Tifa's like, oh God. Yeah, my dad died, and fucking, I'm worried about Cloud, and I'm sick of all of this. Which I think she said that line like 3 times in the game, which is great.
Yeah, they did that whole thing like twice, because at the beginning and then there.
Mm-hmm. And then and then it was sorry, Yuffie and Sonon were in there too, and I didn't give a fuck about that. Basically, like Nero's like, ooh, I have your boyfriend's corpse. Hello.
Ooh, by the way, I'm here.
By the way, I'm canon.
I hate that. And then like Barret, it's just so sad.
God,
Barret's
voice actor is so good too. I just the amount of like, I'm so tired and so hopeful, and I'm like so much in pain because of what's happening. When he's like, Myrna, And Myrna's like, "Oh, you have had a hard day. Let's get you inside." Like, oh, he's like, okay.
Yeah,
and you're
then,
like, dude, fuck. And then it cuts immediately to him coming back, and his like he's got the stub arm, and he's like, "What the fuck?
oh
What the
my
fuck?
God, yeah.
No!"
Dude, like, man, they really put Barret through it. It's just doing that again. I was like, oh my God, man. He's like he's my favorite character. I'm just gonna say,
Yeah,
he's number one.
yeah. I in this game, I am torn between Barret and Tifa as my favorite character. Cloud is my favorite character overall. Like in Remake, I think Cloud's my favorite character. In Rebirth, he's just like, they do such a good job of being like, hey, this is you, but not really. Like, we're really in control of this character, really making you feel like Sephiroth's influence is like stripping away who this person is to you. An amazing job at doing that. But as a result, I'm like, Cloud's gross, actually. I don't like, bring back Wall Market Cloud. That's cute in a dress, and he's like funny and he's goofy and he cares about his friends, but he doesn't want to like show them because he's very bad at expressing his feelings because he's a fucking autist, right? Like that's the Cloud that I like. This Cloud is a lot of that thing, of that like spectrum most of the time, but then there's enough times where he's like when he's stabbing people to death, when he's fucking like
blood all over his face.
Yeah, when he's like walking at Aerith and like, I need that black materia. Oh God. When he's like in that mode, I am like, I fucking can't. Like, I'm very much looking forward to post live stream Cloud coming back and me being like, my boy, you're back. I'm so glad you're here. Fucking, where have you been this whole time?
I've been here the whole time, Cole. We waiting for you.
It's just no. That Cloud's dead. That Cloud died. Okay.
I just want to see. I just want everything to be good for Barret.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, the Reunion Barret's my favorite character. He's so jovial, and like everyone, like he's like bringing a team together and keeping everyone like in high spirits and stuff, even though the worst things in the whole world happen to him over and over.
Yeah, he does. Like, and actually, Harley pointed this out to me, that like Barret puts on his sunglasses when he has like pain in his eyes to hide. So like anytime that he's like about to cry, you'll see him like really quickly just put on his sunglasses. Like, fuck. I thought that's such a cool detail for this character. Like, Barret in this game was amazing, perfect.
Especially when Aerith, after she passes, he puts on the glasses. Like you can see he's like welling up, and he puts the glasses on.
It's so good, and he's like trying to be strong for his team. I also like that, like on a number of the side quests, him and Cloud, like one of them, him and Cloud are talking. He's like, I'm worried about, I'm gonna not let Marlene go because I love her too much. And that's like really cute. There was another one where
the storybook one in Gongaga.
Oh God, yeah. When he meets like the author of his daughter's favorite book and is like, we gotta go take pictures for her. And you're like, okay, Barret, sure.
I like when I don't know if it was a racism or not, but like when he's just like he's like, are you the one we're gonna help? And she's like, oh God, no, you're so big and like fucking scary.
You're a spooky guy.
And then she's like, wait a minute, you're the author of the book? I must have read it to my daughter like a million times. She's like, you're a fan? And then they become like friends, and she's like, I gotta do this for you. Fucking
yeah, I think it's one of those. I think it's one of those things that where she's just like, he's really big and he has a gun for an arm. She's like, ah. So I don't think it's explicitly racist.
His whole hand is bigger than her midsection.
Sincerely, Barret's a fucking huge dude.
Yeah, that's partially why I'm attracted to him.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure to play that song at the end. The last thing that I want to say is that, like, overall, I'm gonna go ahead and give Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, based off like the ending. The ending did it for me. I'm gonna bring it up to an A-. I'm gonna give it an A-, and I'm gonna keep it firm there. I enjoyed it. Had a good time. But it is one of those things where I'm like, I wish you would have baked it a little bit longer. I wish you would have like taken your time on some more stuff. But I'm really interested to see where the story goes. I'm super pumped about Reunion. I want to know if we're going to get a DLC between the two, what it's going to be. Yeah, I'm pumped.
I'm just gonna give it a firm A because I didn't have any. I think it came out at a perfect time. I think everything was good. Side quests aside, I love seeing more of the world.
Yeah,
all the graphics were great. The combat got revamped, and it feels just perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think they could like fix on anything more in the next game.
Man,
I think the skill level system could be tweaked a little bit more. But I think it's okay.
Yeah, to be fair, I really liked almost all of the game. Yeah, all the complaints that we had in the previous episode still stand, and I actually like all of the story choices that they did at the end of this game. I think Harley, like the first thing that Harley said after I told her that I beat the game, and she was like, Square just can't. Square refuses to not blow their load early. And
yeah,
I can kind of agree with that because like they could have let Zack simmer a little while and then have him fucking show up in the actual final boss fight and like save every timeline. But I feel like that's going to happen anyway. And yeah, I really like the fact that like we're ending off on a note that's like hopeful. Yeah. But really depressing as well. Like it
was depressing and hopeful, and it wasn't grandiose. It wasn't like this big send off or anything. Yeah. Because they're like, well, we can't do that because this isn't the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know that like at the end of this game, it's just like the reason why it's so like depressing but also hopeful is like Cloud can see Aerith, and I think that that's a thing that's not being produced by Jenova because Aerith as a spirit was able to interact with Red 13 in some way, shape, or form.
He could at least sense her.
Yeah, okay, so I think that means that she's not a Jenova thing. No. But like the fact that Cloud can see her is like, why is that happening? This is kind of fucked up. Cloud can also see a big tear in the sky. I think it's because Cloud's body is like torn between two timelines.
Yeah, I think because he went to the other timeline. That's why.
I think it's because like apparently when he thinks about her death, it glitches out and shows both things happening at the same time. But I think his brain has picked that she lived because he can see her.
I think right now his body is living. I think his body is in between two timelines. And oh, dude. Okay, so I just thought about this. The reason he's seeing Aerith and no one else is because what if that's the Aerith from the other timeline that only he could see?
Oh, yeah.
And he did bury. He knows the Aerith from his timeline is dead, but the Aerith from the other timeline is also there, but no one could see her. But so he doesn't. It hasn't hit him yet.
The thing is, if they had buried Aerith, there's not a way in the fucking world that he wouldn't be like, why are you sad over dead Aerith? Alive Aerith is right here. Like, there's no way he would have been like, nah, why is everybody sad? This is stupid. You're all stupid.
But it's if he thinks that she's still alive, like, why would he be cool with her, like, just staying there?
Yeah, the reason why... I think basically Aerith is like, I've got to stay here and continue summoning Holy. So like I'm going to stop the meteor, I'm going to stop the black materia, and then Cloud it's like, okay, well we're going to go on to go stop Sephiroth, and she's like, yeah, this is a good plan. Which I think like the fact that she was able to pull him into another timeline, give him a piece of working Holy materia to send him back with. I think that Aerith like is working across a bunch of things and is working on a bunch of assumptions and trusting Cloud to do the sort of like not necessarily the right thing, but maybe the thing that she thinks he's going to do. So I think that she's trusting like, oh, he's going to give this fake black materia to Sephiroth, or he's going to give, I know that he has to give the real black materia to Sephiroth, but he's like once he falls into the life stream, I'll get my hands on him again. We can come up with a plan. I'll be able to like, let him in on what I've been doing, like unfuck his mind and then fuck his body a little bit and then send him back. And we're going to kill Sephiroth once and for all across all timelines. Like, I think that's what's going to be going on.
Yeah. Well, we'll see when Reunion comes out.
Yeah.
This is all just speculation, so. But
except I mean, my theories are all true. I mean, it's just true.
Nah, I don't know about that. We'll see. I like my version better.
Yeah. I do love this place that you live in which you're like, I played this game, it was like this, and I go, that's not how it was, actually. I looked up the information, that's not how it was, and you're like, oh, let me disregard that information entirely and continue moving on with my life.
Listen,
it's a good life.
I like my takeaways from games and screw the fucking canon. Okay? fuck everything. Fuck that. It's all about my experience.
Honestly, I can kind of identify with that. There's a song. From. Is it the Barret song? No.
Is it Endless Dreams?
No. No, it's this is gonna sound real fucking stupid, but there's a song from Encanto called Dos Oruguitas, and it's in Spanish. And I don't know enough Spanish to like know the lyrics to the song. They also sing it in English, but I don't know them. And I'm like, man, I really love this song in Spanish. And I realized that in my brain, I had put together, like, based off of the visuals in the movie, like, what the song was about and, like, the feeling, the vibe that the song was trying to convey. And then I was like, this may be way off base. I'm just applying my own meaning to this song because this is what I kind of like and think this song is about. But it's probably not. I'm probably just making some shit up in my brain, and that's exactly what you're doing. You're like, I took in all the information of Final Fantasy VII and I rewrote some of it for storage.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why do I gotta live in your life? I'm living in mine.
Yeah.
Fucking, oh my god. Now that you said Encanto, I can't stop thinking of fucking Bruno song.
Yeah, it's good.
7-foot frame, rats along his back.
Yeah. God. People say that about me all the time.
Oh my god, not me.
Never me.
Well, not 7 foot tall, but the rats on my back all the time. Colby, do you wanna play the song and then we'll do our outro?
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna play it for us. I'm gonna put it in post. So here's like we'll do our outro. Make sure you stay for this fucking 80s power ballad.
It's so good. I can't wait.
Yeah. Hello everyone. If you're not listening to this live, you could be listening to this live if only you went to twitch.tv/GoGetUsPod. You could follow us there, and we go live anytime between 0 and 2 times a week. If you follow us there, you'll get a notification that'll tell you whenever we go live. But if you want to catch the visual version of this podcast, it'll come out on YouTube every Wednesday at noon Pacific time, which is, I don't know, you could figure it out. You're smart. Yeah. The audio version of the podcast, which is going to be slightly better audio, comes out at 5 a.m. Pacific time, which in your time means something. And if you're into not listening to a thing for, an hour and a half, then go and watch our shorts on YouTube and on TikTok and Instagram. They're good as fuck. YouTube.com/@GoGetUsPodcast. And then you can find us on TikTok and Instagram. If you look for Go Get Us and look for our logo is purple, you'll find it. It's easy.
It's there. You don't even have to look hard. Just type in Go Get Us Podcast.
Yeah.
And it'll pop up.
There's another Go Get Us podcast, but it's about basketball and other sports things, and that's boring as fuck.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Fuck that. Fuck those guys. Let's just start a war at the end of this episode. Fuck the other Go Get Us podcast. Yeah, we're going to talk about Final Fantasy for an hour and a half. Whatever. Fuck you. Yeah, basketball. Hey, you know who's dumb? Michael Jordan. Oh, what now?
Hey, hold on a minute. Michael Jordan is not dumb.
Michael Jordan's the greatest. Okay, we're not going to go there. You've crossed the line.
But fuck Larry Bird.
Yeah, Larry Bird.
Oh man, here's what I want you to do. And since all we did was talk about Final Fantasy VII today, I want you to go home and I want you to write your own love ballad about your Final Fantasy VII character that catches your eye. Write a love song. Go to Twitter and tag us and show us what you did and go get it.
Go get it. Man, listen, I'm telling you, you stick around for this, you are not going to be sad. In fact, I'm not even going to play our outro song. We're just going to intro directly into this song, and you're going to be like, wow. Wow.
I'm really going to enjoy re-listening to this tomorrow to get stamps. It's going to be great.
As if you weren't listening to this the entire time.
I always listen, but I'm just saying this song's gonna make it worth it.
This is listen, this is a little something from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean I can listen to it whenever I want, but I'm gonna hear it again.
Yeah,
like, for real, for real reals,
for really reals.
Yeah, for the realist. Bye.
God, bye.
Such a good.